Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Dre back with another episode of Talking to Myself. Now, I got to start this podcast off on some somber news. There was a mass shooting in Baltimore yesterday. So there was a mass shooting that killed two people and injured 15 minors. Now, according to WJZ News, obtained a shocking video that shows moments during a mass shooting in Baltimore's Brooklyn neighborhood that had people running. Now, police are searching for at least two suspects who had opened fire on a group of people at an unpermitted neighborhood block party in the Brooklyn community of South Baltimore. Now, two people were killed: 18-year-old Aaliyah Gonzalez and 20-year-old Kylis uh, Fagbimi. Uh, you know, forgive me for messing up the last name, but it's Fagbemi. So I'm assuming it's Fagbimi, or Fagbimi. In the mass shooting early Sunday, dozens were injured, according to police. Overall, police said 30 people were shot, ranging from ages 13 to 32 years of age, in the 800 block of Gretna Court. 15 minors under 18 years old were shot. Now, police said two 13-year-olds, a 14-year-old, three 15-year-olds, five 16-year-olds, four 17-year-olds, five 18-year-olds, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, 22-year-old, 23, 31, and 32 were all wounded. Police say they got reports of gunshots around 12:30 a.m. An 18-year-old woman died at the scene, and a 20-year-old died at the local hospital. Police said three others were in critical condition. The University of Maryland Medical System said that 12 victims were taken to Shock Trauma Center, and four patients were also treated at the hospital's pediatric emergency department. When the officers arrived, they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds, said acting Baltimore Commissioner Richard Worley. We located one female adult deceased on the scene. Nine additional victims were transported from from the location to area hospitals. In addition, we had 20 other victims walk into hospitals throughout the region. Nine were critically injured. No, well, not the nine critically injured patients were stabilized, transferred to Baltimore trauma centers, according to hospital officials. Now, any following as is protocol, following any walk-in victim of violence, the hospital went on to immediate lockdown to secure the campus and ensure that the safety of all patients and associates. So yeah, this is wild, man. So they're still looking for the shooters down there, and I mean, hopefully people will cooperate and pretty much like telling if you're not in the quote unquote game, then if you saw the shooter and you know who the shooter is, that's not snitching. Like, you a civilian. That's not snitching. You doing your due diligence as a citizen to bring these perpetrators to justice. So that's not snitching to me. So it says we have some of the highest unemployment rates. We also have some of the most violent crimes down here in Baltimore. In Brooklyn homes, we have some of the highest crime. So that's what the Baltimore mayor, Brandon Scott, was saying. But still, like, you gonna shoot up a block party? Like, it's the first time I really ever heard of anybody like really shooting up a block party. Like, people have block parties over in Philly all the time, and I've never really seen a block party over in Philly shot up. So like that's just fucking wild. And I'm gonna need all y'all to put the guns down. I mean, if you got beef with another person, just square up with that person. You know what I'm saying? Square up with that person, fist fight. Everybody gets to go home. You know what I'm saying? Picking up a gun, motherfuckers be thinking that they tough because they got a gun. Like that shit don't make you tough. That shit make you a pussy, dog. Like if you're gonna shoot first and not want to actually squabble up and square up with a person, that's more pussy than anything else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like having a gun doesn't make you tough. Like it should make you a bitch, and that's pretty much in my opinion. But hopefully they catch the people who actually did the shooting, and I pray for those who lost their life, and I continue to pray for those making the recovery, and hopefully, one day we can stop with this fucking gun violence shit because this shit is it's a nationwide pandemic. Yeah, that's what it is, and these motherfuckers don't want to hear that shit. But yeah, that's what it is, man. All right. So on June 29th, the Supreme Court pretty much effectively ended affirmative action at colleges in a landmark ruling. So the Supreme Court on Thursday set new limits on affirmative action programs in cases involving whether public or private colleges or universities can use race as a factor among many student admissions. Now, the court held an opinion for the conservative majority written by Chief Justice John Roberts. The Harvard and UNC's admissions programs violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Now, voting 6-3 in the UNC case and 6-2 in the Harvard case due to the recusal of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Jackson had served on the board of overseers at Harvard, where she earned her undergraduate and law degrees. So I guess she couldn't vote on the Harvard case. But so pretty much what the court said, the blockbuster cases put affirmative action, which had been used for decades by colleges and universities to address inequality and diversify their campuses in the spotlight. Now, the Supreme Court had repeatedly ruled since 1978 schools may consider the race of applicants in pursuing educational benefits from a diverse student body, so long as it was one factor among many considered, and the school did not use a quota system. Now, most of the schools, I don't know, from what I heard, was like using a quota system. But it says students for fair administration. Let me get this. Students for fair admissions, a conservative group, sued Harvard and the University of North Carolina over their race-conscious admissions programs, alleging intentional discrimination towards Asian American applicants. So, once again, I guess like Asian Americans are pretty much undermining, I guess, like any other ethnic groups that pretty much like we're given a level playing field for being admitted into college. Because like I seen some videos saying that like there were some Asian American students blaming, I guess, like black students that it's their fault because that they couldn't get into a school because they were pretty much like they felt like they were qualified to get into the school that they wanted to, and they couldn't get into because of affirmative action and things of that nature. But what's proven is, I guess, like white women were far more beneficial of getting into universities than actual like African American students. So once again, like people are trying to blame black people for actually like getting into schools when we're still a small marginal, we're still a small margin of people that actually get admitted into these schools. But yet ain't nobody complaining, like the white people or anybody else is not complaining when white students are actually admitted into black schools and everything like that because they want equality and things of that nature. So it's just it's wild. So the relations with most Asian Americans and Black Americans, like that shit ain't really good at all. Especially if you go to, like, what I'm saying, like in the hood where they're just making, Asian Americans, or there's the Asian owned stores, like the, Chinese food stores and the hair weave and all that, like those shops, they're making like tons of money off Black people, but then they want to treat us like criminals and shit when we go into their establishment, or even in the corner stores, like, what I'm saying, trying to go get something to eat or trying to go get some snacks or something to drink, and they're following you around the store, but they want our money and shit like that. That shit makes absolutely no sense. But those are the people who are kind of responsible, well, partly responsible for, pretty much affirmative action being limited now, or even being struck down. So the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the group in a decision that will have major ramifications for the college admissions process in the United States. So, they're starting with the college admissions and stuff like that, but don't think that they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop there. They're going to go to, like, they're eventually going to do employment and things of that nature. So this shit is going to have major ramifications, across the board. And excuse me, I hate to say it, but it's kind of Obama's fault and RBG's fault, because pretty much, like, when she had the chance to retire, she didn't retire. Obama could have filled her seat with, I guess, like a Democratic candidate, or a Democratic judge or whatever, would have balanced things out or anything. But since RBG did not retire, and she died on Trump's term, he was able to eventually, in his term, get three conservative judges in there. So pretty much this is where we're at right now, and this is why, Roe versus Wade was overturned, and affirmative action is overturned right now, and we're just going back as a country. Like, the Supreme Court is just setting us back as a country, and pretty much like the all the pretty much like the white conservatives and things of that nature, especially the poor ones, like, they're voting in they're against their own interests, like, which is wild. And white women are voting against their own best interests, which is wild. And they already seen it with the Roe versus Wade thing, and shit is going to get worse. It's really going to get worse. So this is wild. So the Supreme Court ruling appears to preserve some consideration of race in a narrowly tailored way, such as through the individual's applicant essay or narrative. So I guess you got to have like a really good essay or narrative in order for you to be, I guess, like, considered to be admitted into these schools now. Now the dissents, the justices who dissented was Justice Sotomayor. The court's decision rolls back decades of precedent and monumentous progress, says Sotomayor. It holds that race can no longer be used in a limited way in college admissions to achieve such critical benefits, she wrote. In so holding, the court cements a superficial rule of colorblindness as a constitutional principle in academically segregated society where race has always mattered and continues to matter. And Justice Jackson, Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman to serve on the court, accused the majority of let them eat cake obliviousness of the issue of race. So, yeah, because, like, pretty much, like, they're trying to, these white conservatives, like, they keep trying to say, you know, you should be able to get on your own merit and things of that nature. But we all know that playing field is not level. if it was level, then there wouldn't be no need for affirmative action. But now you're probably going to get another a spike in kids whose parents already went to particular school, donated a lot of money and everything like that. Like those kids are going to get there's more kids that's going to get in that way than there is of like minority kids who actually meet the criteria, and then they're going to get pushed to the side just because, oh, we got legacy kids that we're going to let in. So, but this shit is like it's a whole fucking clusterfuck. And like these conservatives trying to be like, oh well, you know, you can get in on your own merit and things of that nature. These motherfuckers don't live in the real world. They don't, because majority of these Congress people that make the laws and these Supreme Court justices, like these motherfuckers are so detached from reality because like most of these people got money. We got Supreme Court justices taking bribes and everything like that. Like the shit is just fucking wild, man. Like, and then on top of that, that wasn't all. What the Supreme Court was doing. So they pretty much have blocked Joe Biden's loan forgiveness as well. So Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness, how disappointing Supreme Court ruling may actually improve better, well, actually may improve conditions for borrowers. So let me check out this article right here. Just few hours following the Supreme Court and the 6-3 June 30th decision striking down Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program, the administration announced it intended to take new steps to help borrowers. So, Joe Biden says, while today's decision is disappointing, we should not lose sight of the progress we've made, making historic increases in Pell Grants, forgiving loans for teachers, firefighters, and other public service, and creating, but others in public service, and creating new debt repayment plans. So no one with an undergraduate loan has to pay more than 5% of their discretionary income. That's what Joe Biden said on June 30th. So pretty much like, I don't understand like why we're like one of the biggest one of the biggest countries out here that higher education is not free. Like pretty much the majority of the schools and the universities over in Europe and I don't know if Canada, but I know in Europe, like most of these schools are free. So it's like, why wouldn't you want people who actually know what they're doing, went to school, to actually learn like a craft or whatever, to like actually be skilled in what they're doing? So pretty much like this damn dog barking in the background. But why wouldn't you want them to actually, get a free education and learn what they're doing? Like, but everything in the United States is money driven. Like, so pretty much like it's the corporate greed, and then on top of that, like with these loans, like we're actually getting fucked with these loans. Like, cause these loans are like 8%, and everything like that. So it's just like, why screw these people? Because like, okay, yeah, you're going to school, you're getting a education, everything like that, but it's like you can't afford these predatory loans. So now it's like you're stressed out because you got to pay rent, you got to put food on the table, and then on top of that, you got to pay car insurance, probably got a car note, and then you got to pay fucking student loans too. Like, shit is ridiculous. And like I said, like these rates are unreal. And most of these people can't fucking afford this shit. So it's like, how much more are you going to keep punishing the American citizen for like actually trying to make a living, trying to make a decent living? Like the government doesn't make any type of fucking sense whatsoever. And these people are like, oh, well, you went to school and you paid, you got an education. Well, you need to pay for it and everything like that. Well, that's cool if you can, but you can't. And it was like, I see people on Twitter and social media talking about, well, nobody told you to go to school. These jobs keep telling you to go to school. If you want to make a decent or even like an affordable salary and actually try to have like a legitimate shot at actually surviving out here, yes, you actually have to have like some type of college education. And that's what these motherfucking job postings keep saying. So, yeah, like you're talking about nobody's forcing you to go to college and everything like that. But yes, these motherfucking job postings and these employers are telling you that you have to go to job. I mean, you have to go to college in order to make more money. So either pay us a living wage, or fucking forgive student loans and make school free. Like that just fucking makes sense. I don't understand like why it doesn't make sense to these stupid ass conservative people, but you can't tell them shit because they're the ones actually out here making fucking laws and everything like that. So we got to change that shit. Everything starts in the fucking Congress. Like, we have to change this shit. And that's why voting is very important. I keep telling people that, but motherfuckers don't want to listen to that shit. Now, in a better news story, like pretty much like the 10 U.S. cities with plenty of jobs and cheap housing. So if anybody's looking for, employment and cheap housing, this will probably be the 10 best cities that you can probably look for right now. So I guess number 10 will probably be Birmingham, Alabama. Now, the typical home value is $90,289. Typical rent is usually $1,184. The 2022 unemployment rate was 2.0. Labor force participation is 58.9%. Median household income is $51,242, and the livability score is 65. So number 9 will be Evansville, Indiana. Typical home value is $168,401. Typical rent is usually $826. The unemployment rate 2022 was 2.3. Labor force participation is 62.3%. Median household income is $57,321. Livability score is 58. Springfield, Missouri. So the majority of these, like, they look like in the South and Midwest. Springfield, Missouri. Typical home value is $213,892. Typical rent $1,227. 2022 unemployment rate 1.9%. Labor force participation rate 63.8%. Median household income is $55,156, and livability is 62%. Well, 62. Fort Wayne, Indiana, 2002. About $202,934. Typical rent is $1,121. The unemployment rate is 2.2. Labor force participation rate 64.9. Median. I don't know why I keep putting the M at the end of that shit. Median household income is $67,090. Livability score is 75. Huntsville, Alabama, is actually pretty funny because my fiance, like, she watches that fucking what is it? It's something Huntsville, Alabama. It's a fucking reality show. Black people out there. Anyway, typical home value is $257,800. Typical rent is $1,434. Unemployment rate is 1.8%. Labor force participation rate 62.2%. Median household income is $84,059. Livability score is 79. And then you also got Montgomery, Alabama. Alabama is just I guess like it's affordable to live down there. I don't know what the fuck is out there, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's out there. Like I've driven through Alabama. Like some of the spots I've seen down there, it's pretty nice. But it's like the whole idea of like, do I really want to live in Alabama? Like crosses in your head, and you're just like, yeah. The only people that I don't even know nobody that actually moved down to Alabama. Like my cousin's dad he's from Alabama. He moved up to Jersey, lived there for like mad long, and then he just went back to Alabama, I guess after he retired and shit. But other than that, I don't really know too many people that actually want to go down to Alabama. Typical home value is $127,789. Typical rent is $1,168. Unemployment rate's 2.5. Labor force participation rate is 59.6, and the median household income is $60,908. Livability is $65. Lincoln, Nebraska. Really don't know anybody who would want to move to Lincoln, Nebraska either. Like, I guess like I don't. What the fuck is out there in Nebraska? Like, all I can think of is the University of Nebraska, which is in Lincoln, Nebraska. But the typical home value is $259,208. Typical rent is $1,199. The 2022 unemployment rate was 2.1. Labor force participation rate is 71.1. Median household income is 83,418, and the livability score is 78. So Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I only know one person that moved out there, and that's my ex-wife. Actually, she's at Greendale, but it's like really like 15 minutes away from like Milwaukee, whatever. At least like downtown Milwaukee. But she's like right next to Milwaukee. Milwaukee's not that bad from what I've seen. Would I live out there? Probably not, because it's cold than a motherfucker in the wintertime. Like, they telling me, like, yo, like my car battery died, school's closing. It's like -5 degrees outside. Like, summertime is cool, because that's usually when I went out there to go visit my daughter. But other than that, nah, I can't really be like, nah, I can't really do it. But the typical home value is $173,931. Typical rent is $1,160. 2022 unemployment rate was 2.4. Labor force participation rate 64.1. Median household income is $52,784. Like, is the median income? Because I'm gonna have to look this shit up. Like, does that mean like how much like motherfuckers usually make out there? Like, is that like the income that people are making? But anyway, livability score is 61. And Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Who the fuck would want to live in South Dakota? But anyway, that's $302,956. Now, typical rent is $1,178. 2022 unemployment rate is 2%. Labor force participation rate is 74.4%. Median household income is $85,908. I mean, if niggas is making $85,000, I might have to move out to South Dakota. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is there to do out there? Livability score is 70. So Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't know about Naptown, because I know motherfuckers be getting clipped out there. I guess you gotta stay out of the wrong parts though. But Indianapolis, Indiana, typical home value is $216. $216,351. $1,307 is typical rent. 2019 unemployment rate is 20.2. I mean, I said 20.2, 2.2. How come they had the 22, like the 2022 rate? I don't know. But labor force participation is 67.8. Median household income is 68 point. Well, I said 68. $68,575. Livability score is 65. So, like I said, hold up. I'm about to look up the livability. No, the household income medium. But how median household income? What the fuck does that mean? All right, so looking for the definition, like of what this shit means. Like what does it mean? Because it says I'm in New Jersey, so it says New Jersey has the nation's fifth highest median household income at $85,239. Educational attainment in the state is high with 43.1% of residents holding a bachelor's degree or higher. Now, I don't have a bachelor's degree. I have a certificate, but I don't even have a certification. But I'm in the IT field, and I'm working on getting my certification and everything like that. But so for households and families, the median income is based on the distribution of total number of households and families, including those with no income. So what does that mean? So the median divides the income distribution into two equal parts. One half of the causes falling below the median income and one half above the median. For households and families, the median income is based on the distribution of the total number of households and families, including those with no income. So I guess it's like how many people got money and how many people don't have money, and they just do like I guess like what the number is like that meets in the middle. So that's what that means. So, yeah, like pretty much. I mean, you can make a high salary in New Jersey, but it's just like the fucking rent and the income tax and everything else is just as high. So you're just gonna be broker at a higher level in New Jersey. New York, from what I seen, like Virginia, Maryland, all expensive as fuck. You might want to go past the Mason-Dixon line, or you might actually want to go Midwest or whatever. It might be a culture change for a lot of people on the East Coast and shit, but then again, everybody keeps going to Atlanta for like the past 20 years, and everything in Atlanta has risen up too. So it all depends, man. It all depends on what you're trying to do and how much money you're trying to make and what your industry is. But yeah, this shit, I don't know what to tell you, man. But I just wanted to share those top 10 cities of, I guess that's affordable and the rent is cheap too. So do what you want with that information. I'm just trying to help you all out. All right. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning into this episode. And yeah, I hope to be able to put out more episodes more frequently. And yeah, so thank you for checking this out. And like I said, I keep telling people, if you want to hear me discuss a topic that you want to discuss or anything like that, just leave a message. There's usually a link at the bottom of the podcast thing. At the bottom of the episode, there should be a link or something like that. You can click on that, leave a voicemail, something like that, or you can just respond to on Spotify. I know like they have a thing where it says like, how was this episode? And you can leave your thoughts and stuff like that in there as well. But like I said, thank you for tuning in, rocking with your boy. I appreciate the love, and thanks for everybody who shares and retweets and on Facebook and everything like that. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for really rocking with your boy, and I will be back very soon.